Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Ambre, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Most times I speak to somebody before an album is released. This is slightly different. Your album was released exactly a week ago as we're recording this, which means that today you're excited, not because you get to talk to me, but because today the German charts are going to come out. And let's be honest, everybody is curious to see how that first week went. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. You're right.
It's still, you know, it's cool to see that in Germany more and more. I mean, in Germany, hard rock and metal has always been quite popular compared to other countries. But it's cool to see that recently a lot of hard rock and metal bands have been doing quite well in the charts. Is that what's the? It's still that chart success or being chart or getting charted. It's still a big thing. So like, what's that mentality like for the band? Like, is that something that is top of mind? Like, how often this week have people mentioned the charts to you?
Not so much in a obsessive way, but more like we would really like to, for example, do better than the last album. Right. And I know after so many years of not releasing and not being present, it's a little bit hard. But I don't know, it's looking actually quite good. We get, you know, some numbers and we never know. I'm still waiting for today. But yeah, it's in our mind as a kind of a celebration of efforts, of course.
If somebody were to say, well, a Greek, a French, and a German join a metal band, it sounds like the start of a bad joke. But in your case, it's quite interesting because you are a very, let's call it, international person. Half Greek, half French. You live in Germany. But so if you join, or you know, Germany, France, and Greece, they are vastly different countries with vastly different cultures. And sure, there's a language similarity a little bit to Greek and French maybe, but does your background, you know, does that help when you join a German band, and that you can also give a little bit of coaching on softening the edges at times and bringing a different perspective?
Oh, that's an interesting question. To be honest, I don't think so. Music-wise, Germany is much better. They know all of it already. You know, in France, the metal culture is not so popular, so I have really nothing to bring from that. The only thing I can bring is maybe some hot temper from Greece and some warmth from Greece also. Maybe in the music, maybe in the... No, actually, we also have our drummer who is Greek, so we are very similar into that, very warm, let's say, and welcoming. But actually, in Germany, they are very warm and open-minded also, especially in this band. They have a very warm mentality. Same with the approach in music. It's heartfelt, it's generous. So actually, not really.
You guys just did some album release shows where you played, you know, where you were supported by Flower Leaf with the lovely Viv Takahashi, who I've interviewed and met before, and she has a similar, you know, background story as you know, living in Germany but coming from quite a different part of the world. She comes
Brazil.
From Brazil.
Yeah, we talked.
Does that create a bit of kinship? Does that mean that both of you can understand each other a little better? Yeah, we met and immediately connected, kinda. She's also very sweet and it's easy, of course, to connect to someone like that. But of course, I feel
connected to those people who come from another country and try to make it in a complete different country also, even though France, Germany, I lived in France before, it's not so different, it's not so difficult, but I connect a lot with my Greek roots. So I really like people that come from the south and trying to make it in those big economical superpower countries, and it's hard, but it's true, I connect with those people. Yes.
Right now we really seem to be in a second golden age, maybe we should call it a silver age of, you know, symphonic gothic metal that is, you know, you've got bands that were really big in the first wave, like Within Temptation, Nightwish, Epica, Delain, that are now, you know, back or never really went away, but are at new career heights, if you will. And then there's bands like Xandria that are back, but a bunch of new bands that have joined the fray. Does it feel a little bit, and because it must be somewhat weird for you, I know that you shared another interview that your metal journey started listening to some of those bands and that you then went into heavier bands, but now you're part of that scene. Was there that a specific moment that you were like, hey, wait a minute, this is actually happening, this is not a dream? Or was there this moment like, oh, this is real?
Yes, actually a few times. I still sometimes have to pinch myself and think, wait a minute, it's so strange when you are in it, you don't realize it. I don't have the distance, it's really hard to have it, but sometimes it does hit me and I get really emotional, and I'm like, for a few seconds I can realize it from a distance, like a stranger, what is happening. And it's something really special, especially when I love those bands. I'm a Delain fan since the first album. I'm a Nightwish fan since I'm 11 years old. It's really, and I'm in the same genre now. It is really crazy, really special.
It's a special time for your band because, I mean, I'm sure most, if not everybody that is watching or listening to this conversation probably know that this is a new band or a new album with a almost new band, with Marco still there, everybody else is new. Obviously, to you as a singer, there's going to be more attention to the fact that there's also a new guitar player or a new drummer or whatever. That's just the reality of life. You are now the face of a band as well. Joining a band that has been around for a long time, that then was gone for some time, that has had some lineup issues, joining a band like that, that can work out really well. And now that you start releasing singles some time ago already, and now the album is out and you see that everybody's very positive about it, that's great. But that must also be a little bit like a moment, because an album like that, a comeback album with a very, very new lineup, that can also backfire. That, you know, a reaction to that can be very negative. Was that a conversation that you had as you were planning to join this band? And did Marco kind of coach you, because he's seen singers come and go and reactions to different singers? Did he tell you like, hey, brace yourself because this might go really well, but this might also not go well?
Not really, because the way we started is a little bit different. We did not have a plan at the time. We just wrote songs. He wrote the song. I was sitting there giving ideas and feedbacks, but completely freely, without a business plan, without an album in our mind, you know, as a goal. So we started this way, and it slightly started to evaluate to that point where we said, okay, actually, we kind of have really good songs, and we can make a Xandria album out of this. And it just happened so naturally and smoothly that actually only when the first single was about to come out, I was thinking, okay, damn it, that is the moment where some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it, some people are gonna bring the past into the mixture. It's gonna be lots of good, maybe lots of bad. There was actually less bad than I thought.
Okay.
And after that, it was slowly getting better and better with each song. So people started to really accept it and really like it. So yeah, there was never that talk. I knew it. I knew that I would receive, some negativity. And who doesn't? It's normal. It's like that. Some people don't like changes. They don't like my voice. They wanted operatic vocal. It's totally fine. As long as it's not a mean attack, of course. But I didn't get any of that. So that was really good. I didn't have that talk, no.
There were many people that came and went at a time. Xandria almost felt like a revolving door. With an album title like Wonders Still Awaiting, that almost sounds like a promise of like, okay, calm down everybody. We're gonna continue for a while. There's more to come from this band. Can we all just now, stop the changes, and can we just assume that we see this lineup go for quite some time?
Interesting. It's actually not what it's about, but it maybe the intention also somewhere unconsciously is there, but we express that in the way that we put a lot of effort into it, videos, and for the people to really see we are here and we mean it. And we want to give you and share as much as we can. And we worked really hard on the songs for very long, and it's very heartfelt, and this is a way of expressing this. We are here and it's going great, and I hope people can trust us again and can enjoy the music again, and we want to continue as long as we can. So there's that, even though The Wonders Still Awaiting was more a warning against the negative things in the world, meaning that there is a lot of positive things, but also a lot more negative, wars, conflict, racism, homophobia. There's so much negativity, and if we continue in this direction, then there's no wonders. We cannot enjoy all the good things that humankind can do, can achieve, good things in the world that can happen. So this was actually more a warning like this, like the wonders are here, but we have to choose this direction in order for them to happen and to manifest.
You used the specific word, heartfelt, which I want to, use as an anchor, kind of to go. You wrote some of the songs. You also sing other people's lyrics, and therefore other people's original emotions or intentions. And I think you shared another interview that, one of the songs that Marco wrote about personal loss is one that for you is also one of the most emotional to sing. Like, what's that like for you to channel somebody else's emotions when you sing and make that your own?
That is a really good question. It works also really well. Knowing the story behind it, and of course, the loss of a family member, everyone can relate. And of course, I can turn it into my own emotions and thoughts. And I should not do this too much, because I actually tend to get really emotional, and I would not want to cry on stage. That is actually scaring me. It would be very vulnerable, and I guess it can be scary for a lot of people, including me. But it worked in the studio when knowing the story behind it. And of course, like I said, I transform it into my own emotion and experiences. I lost family members, I lost people, like everybody. So it works like this. I I can turn stories into my own, which is really good because I would not want to sing a song where I don't feel anything. So we talk about the lyrics a lot between us. When you write a song, I ask, what is this about? What do you mean? What do you want it to express? If I don't understand a sentence, I want to know, because I need to channel it and express it in the best way and the way that it's meant also. It's very important for me to sing with emotion.
You said, you know, allowing myself to be vulnerable on stage can be scary.
Yeah.
You will be on stages many times. Is the whole realization, now you've played already with Xandria on stages, obviously, as we speak, but being in that spotlight 24/7 and having to channel emotions, whether they are coming from your own lyrics or somebody else, like, you know, it can be scary to be vulnerable, but is it daunting just overall the step in this role? Was that a journey for you to go from, hey, I'm working with Marco on some music, and oh, that turns into a good song for Xandria, now all of a sudden we're here where there's gonna be a lot of expectations. Is that just scary as a whole?
Yeah, the expectation was stressing me. I have to be honest. Yes. Also because I can be sometimes hard on myself. Like, I guess every other singer. I think this is a musician thing in general, to be perfectionist and to be hard on ourselves. And of course, that puts more pressure. So you always ask, am I going to be good enough? Is it good enough? It's really difficult sometimes, but I always liked being on stage, and I know I loved it because I did it also in the past already. And I always wanted to do it. So now I feel at home in a way. And even on stage, it's changing. In the very first shows, I was, of course, a little less expressive and could not let go everything because I was quite stressed and I had to focus a lot. But now with the release shows, for example, it's a whole new dimension where I really could let myself fall into the songs, and especially the new ones, and I heard myself being very emotional in the way I was singing, and I was a bit surprised, and I was like, I'm glad it finally works. I'm glad I can let it go and be myself completely and not think about, okay, I'm a bit stressed. What do people gonna think? Because it was our first tour. It was a lot of pressure, of course. But now I know that the next one will be finally, as comfortable as it can be.
Survive, rise up and illuminate.
We're gonna announce something in a few days. We have a special guest on the Delain tour. So yeah, you can imagine that I think it's gonna please. I'm very pleased. I love the band personally and fans since the first album. So of course it's a pleasure. And the fans, you can imagine that it's gonna be quite a perfect combination, if I may say, without throwing myself flowers. Just that I think we have fans in common a lot, and the ones that don't know Xandria yet might like it from the Delain, because the new album, my voice is a bit closer to Diana's voice, and it has more similarities now, I think, without the classical operatic focus.
Okay, well, Ambre, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I wish you and the band all the success in about 6 hours from now, I think, when those German charts get updated for the weekend.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully you can all celebrate.
Thank you.
I hope to see you on a stage in person.
Yes. Yeah, me too. Me too. Thank you so much.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.